Welcome to Witches of Three.
Speak free, speak free. Talking about witches. Talking about.
Welcome to Witches of Three.
Speak free, speak free. Hey, that was the best one yet.
I think we found our rhythm here. I just need to orchestrate. I've always wanted to do that.
Of course you have. Of course you have.
Okay, so today's our Ask FM episode, and we love this episode. I think this is probably my favorite. I love hearing from you and knowing what you want to know about, because sometimes we struggle. Like, you know, we talk about, like, the Sabbath and the astrology and things like that, and then we're just like, okay, so we're going to craft. Like,
yeah. Well, we want to know what you want to hear.
We want to know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So, like, thank you. Thank you for participating and asking us such thoughtful questions.
Yes, because we got some good ones.
I'm excited.
First one. Have you guys heard the song Fuck Donald Trump? And what do you think about it?
I've not heard it.
I've heard it. I like to blare it in my car. I want one of those karaoke microphones. So
Shanna sings it every day.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like what I like sing brushing my teeth. But that's not a secret at all.
It's a good song.
Yeah,
it has a wonderful message, I think.
You can dance to it.
Yeah.
Fuck Donald Trump.
I give it a 4.
Yeah, we enjoy that song. It's a fantastic melody.
Okay. We've gotten this one a few times. Someone's asked this continuously. Where and how to safely forage in my area?
Oh.
So, just to be, because we have to say this, because you technically cannot safely forage anywhere. If you do not grow it yourself or know someone,
or own your land.
Own land. We all have, I have friends that own farms that I forage on. Honestly, foraging out in the wild is something that we technically cannot safely recommend at all.
We can't condone it.
We can't at all.
Because it's pretty much illegal. The way that the laws are written in the state of Oklahoma, you're really not allowed to pick up anything and take it with you. It belongs to the state of Oklahoma or whoever property you're on. But if you have your own land, then forage away. Forage away.
But if you are just going on a hike and walking and you want to forage, like, again, we always talk about asking permission from the spirits or whatever, yes. But just know that wherever you are that's not your own or your friends, you don't know what that thing may contain.
Right.
If you're foraging some sort of plant, you just have no idea.
Yeah.
If you're going to do those sort of things, it's really good to, like, study wildcrafting and foraging and learning about the things that grow naturally in your area. I discovered during quarantine that my backyard where I was living was like a fucking wonderland of magical herbs, including, like, wild onions. And I had all the purple nettles that anyone could ever needed in their whole entire life. I found a bird skull in my backyard. Like, I was just tripping around my backyard.
Yeah.
So,
in the beginning of COVID, I did these little videos because I just did everything from my backyard. And even I, who is a forager, I was very surprised at what I found in my own backyard.
Yeah.
Anything will grow here.
Yeah.
Anything will grow in Oklahoma.
But that's the only thing we can safely say. But there is so much in your backyard.
Yes.
We do forage in other places, but I mean, we legally, just can't tell you. And because you honestly don't know. That's something with your own intuition. If you're out hiking and you see a skull or you see a plant, we suggest that you use certain apps. You connect with your guides, ask certain permission.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's all we can ask.
That's all we can say.
I wish I could.
We do forage.
Yes. I wish I could tell you.
We have resources.
We go to the lake when we have our thing. We collect stuff. But we legally can't tell you to go forage.
We used to do like urban foraging as well, like when I was a young punk kid. Like we would find like cool stuff in the alley, like trash and like broken telephones and like make
urban
foraging.
I am definitely about like anything that you forage, even if it's city-wise
People are putting shit on the side of the road to be given away. That's foraging.
Oh, right? I'm a freegan for sure.
Yes. Freegan.
You put shit out in your trash can, Sean and I are gonna get it.
Up for grabs. Up for grabs.
I have furnished entire homes from like junk day. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Next question. Oh, I'm a little anxious about this one.
Oh no.
with the solstice coming up, do you believe in angels?
Yes, I believe in higher forces of light that during this time of the year have more accessibility to this plane of existence. And so they come here and they bless what's here.
I also believe in angels, but I'm going to let you know, because I think this is shocking to a lot of people. I have more with working with angels than I do with technically malevolent or any other type of spirits. Angels are
terrifying.
They are not something that what you
They are
badass, but they're
badass.
not what you guys what we've been taught angels are.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Like I mean,
They're
if you
terrifying.
experience one,
Terrifying.
Yeah.
once I experienced an angel, I was like, this is why people believe in aliens.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just something.
Yep.
There's a great meme. There's a great meme
otherworldly.
about like what angels really look like, and it's like a cat with like 1,000 eyes and stuff. Like that's kind of the truth.
Like one of the
Yeah.
things is like I think a lot of people forget like angels like a lot of times are depicted very beautiful or whatever, but that's the demon's game. That's like that is
Glamour.
You know,
Glamour.
angels appear how they are.
Yeah.
And they are not anything that we understand in this fucking plane at
they're
all.
unrecognizable. You don't know an angel till you've seen an angel or felt. For me, it was in the sea. It was a feeling, and it was unlike any other feeling.
Yeah.
One
of my spirit guides works under Michael, and that like came under like some evolution for that own spirit guide, and everything like changed after that. Like it became. But I'm still, like, I have Christian trauma. Like, we talk about this a lot, like, especially where we are from, Oklahoma. There is a lot of religious trauma. I do myself, so I have a hard time with the word angel.
But they're Hebraic, though, so they predate Christianity.
They do.
What we know about angels comes from the Hebrew tradition, and it is just as old and rich in tradition as any other native belief system.
Yeah.
And that's where that comes from. So if you study them from that angle, Kabbalah, mystic Judaism, it's a whole other.
One of our first Ask Witches of Three, or when we were live on Facebook, someone asked us. They kept getting this word in their head, and I can't remember right now. But she thought it was like associated only with demons. It was like this thing from the Kabbalah.
Oh, I remember this one.
Like. And we were like, that's the song of it, and it's also the song of angels, like in the Kabbalah. Like it's also like how you reach them.
How you call them?
Yeah.
Yes.
In what we have been taught and what we've been, everything, it's always such a separate thing. But they,
they are symbolic of. They are symbolic of energy bodies that are here and that have been here from the very beginning. So they are the mediums between the mundane and the spiritual, and they've been here forever. They are assigned to our planet. They're assigned here. And so working with them will help you work through transcending here.
But I almost just want to say that the angels, to me, are the most serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is not...
You're calling on a seriously high force.
Yeah. Like anything I've worked with, deities and certain things, like the
I just
angels
feel like
are a different level.
Angels are for big things. They are like the ultimate of shadow work. They are when you are ready to release that. That's the work that you're doing, or you're trying to heal grief. Or when those big dramatic things happen, that's
or calling in protection.
Yeah, that's
calling in protection.
We Michael at my house.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, we're Michaels.
Me too. Calling the ancestors and Michael.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. We believe in angels, but not
but not precious
not
moments.
Cherubim.
Angels.
Not cherubim.
No precious moments. Angels.
They're beautiful.
They're not cute. They're beautiful. They're not cute.
So and the artists are depicting their interpretation of the emotion that they associate with it. So those beautiful Renaissance paintings of those angels, what you get is this awe-inspiring, like, oh my God, overwhelming presence, and they were just filtering it through their romantic point of view, which was beautiful. They are the sculptures.
We're not disclaiming that.
No, it's gorgeous. It's art. It's
when
symbolic.
you call on an angel, that's not what you're gonna get.
No, you're getting all of it.
You get
FYI.
You're getting all of it.
More.
Yeah.
I'll warn you more with angels than I probably will about any other
else,
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this question. So, how do we know what energies the planets stand for in astrology? So I love this because I've wanted to say this for a while. So this is where astronomy and astrology kind of meet. The planets, what they symbolize, like Venus. When you look and you can see Venus, she is the brightest star. Venus is beauty and everything that is art. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Anything Jupiter touches expands. Uranus was one of the planets founded once science came. It was the first one, and so it's kind of the surprise, the rebellion. Pluto is one of my favorite examples because Pluto is like the death and life transformation planet, and look at how many times it becomes a planet and then it's not. It goes back and forth. Neptune's the planet of illusion, and we're not sure if Galileo discovered him or if he was discovered at a certain time. So there's this wonder about Mars is the red planet. It's hot, so it becomes a planet of anger and passion. That's where astronomy comes in, where we understand how those planets affect our bodies. But I just love that because for the longest time, memorization isn't my strong point because of trauma and everything else. And planets were the last thing I was really trying to memorize, like how they affected me. And one of the best things that helped me was with my son, Kodiak. Like, he would watch these YouTube things like Storybots or whatever. It was like the story of the planets. And then I finally figured out, it's just so simple. Like, that's what they are. Saturn is daddy and rules and everything else.
Mercury's
he's
the messenger.
and he's in this ring that constricts him. It's really physicality, and that's how we know how the planets affect us.
And it's in our mythology too. I mean, if you look at Greek and Roman mythology, they have different gods that represent all of those planets that she was talking about, and so they just symbolize energies and the cycle of energy.
But they got that from how the planets actually enter, and that's how they told those stories.
Yes.
Aphrodite and Venus, she's the most beautiful. You look, and Venus is the brightest star. So that's how we got all of
our stories.
that. So yes, thank you for asking that. I wanted to say that for a while. Okay, what kind of witch are you, and what kind of witches are there?
Okay.
I was gonna say, this one for us.
This is hard for us.
This could be a long discussion.
This could be a whole episode. I think we kind of touched on this in an earlier episode.
We have a little bit, but not
really deep.
But we're of the mind that you don't have to pick a lane.
But
we all have our specialities. Especially usually you identify with what drew you in at first, right? So some people, especially people who leave organized religion, really liked the structure of being Wiccan because it also has a structure and a hierarchy and all that sort of stuff. We've said it 1,000 times, we're not Wiccan. But we understand the form of it and maybe why it's appealing to some people. So that whatever you're first drawn to, some people it's crystals, some people it's meditation, some people it's herbs or oils or ritual magic. So it kind of just leads you into that. I'm generally I'm like a witch slut. I just like a little bit of everything.
I don't like the term eclectic witch. I don't think that encompasses what all I do. I know that's the term if you do a lot of stuff, but it's just not enough for us. I don't
because we're constantly learning and changing and growing, and that's kind of a part of the craft. Is the more you start doing it, the more you want to learn about this path and that path and taking from it. And some people think that that's appropriation or disrespectful, but I just feel like it's appreciation.
The word witch really just means wise woman.
Yes.
So
she's a woman that heals herself.
And heals her community. So that can look a million different ways.
It can look however you want it to look. Honestly, there are types. There's when you see those Facebook memes, and I know that's why we got that question.
Hedge witch,
hedge witch, crystal witch, cosmic witch,
kitchen
kitchen witch, green witch. all that stuff, and they all have places, and some people really certainly identify with
them.
those.
And there's a whole thing right now. Obviously, we're able to do this podcast because this has become so popular. And this has come in and out of fashion several times throughout history, and I'm sure it will wane again. But there's an aesthetic, and for me, I really have a darker aesthetic. I like glitter, I like candles, I like crystals, I like roots, I like the darker side of things, and very practical magic. So I've been, root worker, Hollywood witch, all those sort of things. But I think on different days, I'm all different versions of that.
Yeah. I
think
days,
Wild Witch is really you, though. Like, I don't know.
But I mean, that encompasses everything. Yeah. Like, I do, like, I've been called a cosmic witch. Yes, I do look at the stars. I do, I do deal a lot with death.
Divination.
I do divination. I cook for my family. Yeah. I do have plants. I have a farm. Like, I can't pick just one.
No.
Like, I just really, and I mean, and like I said, a lot of people will just identify with one, and that's okay. And if you don't, that's also okay, because I know I can't. I literally cannot pick.
I don't either.
No. I just like to magic. Like,
well, I mean, mine is whatever. Like,
I just use intention with everything, and that's my magic. I just use intention with everything.
Yeah, we're definitely practical magic bitches.
Yeah.
Like, it's in everything that we do. So we definitely respect those paths if you are for them. There's some hedge witch. So they asked what kind of witches. So hedge witch, they're normally hedge is a UK term. So hedge is supposed to be like kind of green, like the actual hedge, but it's also the idea that you stand on both sides. Hedge witches usually use that term when they're mediums or they connect with spirits or do necromancy. Green witches, a lot of people know that. Plants, a lot of
herbs and green witch, kind of kitchen witch, same thing.
A lot
usually
they overlap. A lot of these overlap.
A lot of cannabis related goddesses like to call themselves green witches, and you are for sure. Yeah. Kitchen witches in that same right, they overlap with green witches a lot because they plant herbs, but kitchen is, the hearth, the cooking, everything else.
Yeah.
Cosmic witch, astrology, crystal witch, crystals, storm witch, the storm, weather. I definitely feel like that.
Yeah.
Wood witch.
There's music witch. There's all sorts of witch, and you can make your own witch.
Make your own witch. Be your own witch.
Be your own witch.
Make your own witch.
Like,
I think we use all of the above. It's at one point in time I've done all of the above.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that you can probably be really drawn to one path, but you at least dabble.
You incorporate everything.
And everything if you're a witch.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just can't see how you couldn't.
Yeah, but I will say, and I think for all of us, we all three rely heavily on ancestor magic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I am heavily into history, understanding how the religions became what they are, and my place in it, my family's place in it. And so I think we all incorporate that. We absolutely believe that our ancestors
every
instill
witch
us.
should.
Yeah, some sort of
absolutely.
I mean that's the kind of readings that I do most often.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like you really want to connect to your roots.
Your roots.
Because that's where that's where your energy's from.
Right.
So figuring out how to utilize it, how to heal the things so the energy can move forward. All those sort of things. So I think definitely you're right. We're all
ancestor.
We all
but
do.
I mean,
ancestor magic.
A lot of people think they don't do ancestor magic, but you're doing that recipe from your grandma.
Oh, absolutely.
You got that plant from your mom.
When you think about your grandma, and anytime you connect with them,
the ancestor magic isn't just communicating with the dead. If you're not at that level, it's everything. It's that recipe you do. It's the plants that you have. It's that little brooch that you have. That little stuff. All that stuff. Witchcraft does not look like one way.
No.
At all. And I know a lot of people have asked us questions about ancestor work. That doesn't mean necessarily doing necromancy and divining and talking with the dead if that's not what you want to do.
No.
There are definitely ways to pay homage
Yes.
and all sorts of stuff without doing that.
Yeah, just opening yourself to the signs, seeing a butterfly, seeing a red bird, smelling a
just
smell.
Being open
just
is the
being
best thing,
open and knowing that that's a gift, that was a blessing, that somebody was thinking about you from the other side. Just being open to that. That's the type of connection and magic we're talking about, because they're around you all the time.
Yes. Our last question: what planets made COVID happen?
Oh.
So that was Jupiter and Pluto. So what we talked about with astronomy for a second, Pluto kind of becomes a planet, not a planet. In astrology, Pluto is he's huge.
Death.
You know, he's not. And a lot of people would think if Pluto and Jupiter were together, Jupiter would overshadow Pluto. No. Wherever Pluto comes, he transforms whatever is happening. Yeah. So
into its opposite.
Pluto with Jupiter transforms, expand, huge transformation, huge growth. Also in Capricorn, unfortunately, I love Capricorns, but that was the sign of less light, sickness, restrictive health. That was
double whammy.
You know, those Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions. That first one is what brought on COVID. That first, if you look at that first day, it's within a very short time frame that it was announced that everyone needs to like start shutting down. Like that was like the big thing. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions we've been talking about brought COVID. Like that was.
Aren't we having it again?
We're done with it. Okay. We had the last one with this huge spike.
That's what it was.
We had last week. Yeah. And I know in our hometown, when that happened, everything changed. Like, it was like a huge spike, and everyone started taking it seriously again and acting like it was March and April and shutting down.
Yeah.
So, but that's the last one we have. And everything else looks towards, like, healing it, but that was the last big influx, and we're going to feel it through January to February with the cold and flu season.
Yes. No more. No. Expansion is coming.
Yeah. Yes.
Expansion is coming, but it's kind of like a seed has to like germinate in the soil.
Well, first we all had to die. Pluto had to make us all die first in some way, but he also brings back life. You know, it's.
Yeah. So just breathe. Just breathe.
We're here with you guys, no matter what. We're going to be here some way.
Yes.
So message us if you need help. Come to the store. We got stuff for you. But thank you so much. Send us your questions again. We love answering them.